I'm live. Yeah, there we go.
Yo,
Yo,
here we are.
we're back
We're here
from
in
outer
Olupland.
space.
We're back from outer space. What is
Yeah.
the name of that song?
I don't know, but my mom used to listen to it all the time.
I
in
am
the car.
disappointed in both of you.
I know.
He says
I
with a
know.
mouthful of pizza
Is
crust.
that Cher?
That's not pizza crust.
No, no, it's.
Oh,
I
you're
don't.
gonna
It's
say
not,
that's not
oh,
Cher.
Oreos. It's not. It's actually
I
not
will
Cher.
survive.
Yeah,
Or
I will
it's
survive.
not Cher.
yeah.
I forget who sings it.
Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive.
You're gonna get us banned on Twitch, sir.
Yeah, this is already demonetized.
All right, I'll just put it on TikTok. It's fine.
It's by Gloria.
Nobody gives a shit about fucking copyright on TikTok.
That's true. It's by Gloria Gaynor. Gaynor.
What did you call me?
Tim, did you get the those Oreos with the Sea of Thieves content? Special sale set?
Oh wow, I didn't know they had that going on.
They're
Dude, they
double
do
stuffed.
all
Does that
kinds of
count?
promotions.
I have no idea.
No.
So you
Well,
double
Obviously
stuff.
not.
Aye. Anyways, boys.
Wow.
What have we been playing this week?
I
I
feel
beat
like
a
I need to call
single-player
HR
game.
right now.
I am HR. I'm sorry. What have you been playing, Justin?
I beat a single player game for the first time in ages.
What was it?
I beat Return of the Obra Dinn,
Nice.
a
That
game
looks really
that
good.
I mentioned briefly, but I don't
Yeah.
think I really explained. It's a mystery game set
feel
in
like
the
you-
year 18XX. You are a
18XX.
tax person for the East India Trade Company, and there was a accident on one of their ships that was like shipping people and cargo, and so you go onto the ship and you have to figure out what happened, right?
Mhm.
And you get this magic pocket watch that you use when you find a corpse, and you activate the pocket watch and it presents a scene of what was happening at the moment that they died. So it's
Oh.
like a freeze frame, and you can walk around and like examine everything from different angles, and you have a list of 50 some names and a picture of like everybody depicted on the ship, and you have to like match up the names with the faces and
Mhm.
determine their cause of death. And there's a little bit of eldritch horror in the middle of it.
Okay.
So it was really cool. I clocked like 9 hours, I think, and I got like the 100% good ending.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was really sweet. I really liked it. It's the same dude who made Papers, Please, Lucas Pope.
Oh yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
He's dope.
He's got a
Honest-
good sense of humor too. 'cause
Lucas Pope is
there's,
dope.
Yes, he is.
there's an achievement that you can get, spoilers, called Captain Did It, and it's basically the lazy tax collector. You just list everyone's cause of death as the captain, and that's the end. That's like the quick joke ending.
That's cool.
Yeah, my only regret about it is that I think it would have been a great game to like sit down with someone else and
Mhm.
like kind of like both of you like try to figure out what's going on,
Right.
because a lot of it is just speculating about who did what. like,
Right.
So
who's
you
who.
should have done it on an OLIP stream.
I mean, yeah, that would have been cool.
It's okay. It's okay. No, I am happy that you completed a game. You did
Yeah,
something
it's,
that
you
I
know.
struggle to do every year. Every year I'm like, I'm gonna
I would be
complete more
genuinely
games.
curious what the last game Cody completed was.
He doesn't even know.
No, I remember it was on Game Pass. It's an EA game. It's the one with the dice rolling. The dice.
The dice rolling.
The weird one. That was
Lost
like
in Random?
Yes, Lost in Random. It was like the Tim Burton
Oh,
style
yeah, it's
looking
like-
game. That game
was a fucking
was,
pull.
it was very good. That game was just so, like, the story was decent enough to keep me going, but I really enjoyed the little world. And there's even a song in it, like towards the end, as you get towards the end, that I was like, yo, this song is fucking dope. Like, it's a banger. I think that was the last one I beat. I beat that like March last year, February.
Wow.
Let me,
In like a year.
let me look at my library. on Steam. Yeah, I don't think I beat any of these. I've played through a good chunk of these. I didn't beat From Space because I was hoping one of y'all would buy it at some point, so I didn't play all the way through that.
From Space. I don't know what that is. I don't think we've talked about this. If you were
I
hoping I was
have-
going to
I
buy
have-
it, should
I have told
me.
you both about this because I played the demo with one of my airmen. It's a little co-op game or whatever. It's basically aliens invading, but it's like top down and it's cool. It's cool. I really like the graphics and stuff, but it's just like a decent little game. And what I was gonna say. So I bought it when it came out, and I have about 4 hours in it. Was having a good time with it, but I was like, man, I don't want to just like tear through this game because I feel like it's gonna be a really good co-op game
Yeah.
for us at some point. So.
Rip.
That's okay. I mean, it's a good Steam Deck game. I'll tell you that. It's real good. What was I gonna say? But that is not what I've been playing. Actually,
Yeah, what have you been playing lately?
So I've been bouncing around lately. I was playing a lot of Path of Exile.
Yeah, I saw you and Ben talking about that.
Yeah. I was playing it, and I was having a good time with it. But it was more just like turn off your brain and fucking like kill shit. Was really what it was. Like I was just like, I just want to play something and not think too hard at all
Goblin
times.
mode.
Yeah, really. But I actually, so I told you guys I've been playing Warhammer Fantasy with my cousins lately or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's really got me in like the single RPG itch right now. So I booted up Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which I hadn't booted up since I like bought it. And I made a dwarven blood rager. So it's a lot like a sorcerer where you can pick like a bloodline and shit, right? I chose the bloodline of undead. So if I max him out, like he'll start having like a skin come off and shit. And I'm just gonna run around and fucking punch people to death or whatever.
Respect.
Yeah, it was like it's a blood rager, and like the subclass in it is like spell eater or something like that. So like I can sacrifice mana to like restore my health and shit and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just like tanky tank, little dwarven dude just.
Little skeletal dwarf
Yeah.
beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, he's not skeletal yet, but maybe I don't know how the game will handle that at level 20. I wonder if they like because it's in the description, right? Where it's
Sounds
just
like a hell of a Dwarf Fortress story.
It does. So, but yeah, I've been bouncing around a lot. I've played some Land of Vikings, Sands of Salazar or whatever. Played some of that. That is Chinese mythic Mountain Blade.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Oh, was that the one that I've been seeing advertised on Steam?
yeah, it was on sale for like $8.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
think I saw
it
that.
looks kind of interesting, and it's got a lot of Mountain Blade vibes with the Chinese like mythos like pulled over it instead.
Cool.
It doesn't the combat's way different, right? It's like top
Right.
down. It's more like a hero style thing or whatever. Not you're just kind of a Joe Schmo that can get fucking ganked at any second. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I've been messing around a lot lately. Haven't really landed on anything because I'm waiting for Hogwarts Legacy to come out because I'm apparently a bad human, but we can talk about that later. So, anyways, Tim, have you had time to play anything?
Yeah. So I bring my Steam Deck with me to work, and I get an hour for lunch every day. So
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Hades.
Oh,
Ooh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am all tonight. Logan wanted to. We were having a rough night, and I got him to settle on. All right, he didn't want to read a story. He didn't want to watch his tablet. He didn't want to just snuggle and listen to songs. I was like, all right, well, what if I showed you this game about the Greek gods? Because he's been into mythology lately, and I was like, all right, check this out. So we played Hades. And when I had paused it at work earlier today, I was in the middle of a run. So I picked it up and I made it all the way to the final boss and died. But like it was cool because he would ask me questions about like the different gods that we met along the way. So I got to like go into my knowledge about Greek mythology with my 7-year-old. So it was an
Nerd.
interesting. Yeah, man, I'm a big nerd. That's why this exists.
Yeah, that's why we have a podcast.
That's
Yeah.
why we have a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were we were digging it. He fell asleep actually during that last boss fight because I didn't have it like cranked, like the volume was.
Yeah.
Right.
Steam Deck can get loud,
Yeah.
but
it
I did
can.
not have it. I did not have it cranked. It was just enough that he soothingly fell asleep to the sounds of me stabbing Hades in the face and dying.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Hades has such beautiful audio. Like the music in that game is
So
so
good.
fucking killer.
Yeah. Very good.
I always wish that I was more Tim about that knowledge of mythology when I play that game, because I'm just like, this is already really cool, but I feel like if I already like knew shit about this, it would be cooler.
Yes. That's how those games always are. I feel like.
Yeah, they reference little things throughout it, or like they reference like the Odyssey. Like I wonder how many people know who the fuck Patroclus is, and like
I don't
why that
remember.
was relevant, and it was pretty cool. Like there are just a lot of little details in there. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking cool that that's in there. So, I love that game, and I knew I was going to, but I actually hadn't like played it until recently. Like I had tried it
Oh.
through Steam or through Xbox Cloud streaming. I don't remember when I actually bought it on Steam. I think maybe it was the autumn sale. It was not that long ago. I didn't own it on Steam. I had it installed on Xbox, but then I was like, "Oh, this would be a great Steam Deck game. Why the fuck haven't I done this sooner?" And that's how I've been playing it lately, and it's fucking dope. I love it.
Yeah, really still hyped about them doing a direct sequel to it next.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't normally do direct sequels, do they?
They have
think this
not
is the
made a
first time.
single. Yeah, Supergiant has not made a single sequel to Bastion or any of them. So
Beautiful.
If anybody's wondering
beautiful.
if they happen to be on the YouTube stream at some point, I'm literally just editing because Tim changed his face like 4 times or whatever. So I just you like zoomed
Changed
in
my
at
face.
you like
I did
zoomed
it
in
once.
and
It
it
happened
like
one
it-
time.
and then your face was like all the way to the left in your camera like frame, and then it was like yeah when you zoomed in it was like it got all jacked up. So now I am just on the fly
Has not moved.
editing.
I
I'm-
stood up and walked away.
I'm just telling you what it did on my end. I didn't say it had to make sense, Tim. Anyway,
This isn't for you, Tim. This is for the viewers.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm literally fixing all of our cameras right now because it is something that I think every week I'm like, I should do that, and then I never get to it. So I'm doing it right now. So nobody worry about what's happening
Please
behind
understand.
the curtain. Okay, it is.
Pay
what it
no
is.
attention to the nerd behind the curtain.
Correct. Something we did pay attention to today, though, is the Xbox first Direct.
Yeah, the developer.
Developer
Direct.
Direct. Yeah, the DD. The Xbox DD. I don't know. We're not.
I want to talk about their double Ds.
Oh man. Yeah, we probably shouldn't call it that, but that's okay. Anyways, but we all
Now
got
that's what I'm calling it for the rest of all of time. It's the Xbox double Ds. Let's
forever
go.
and ever. This is what it is. No.
It's an Ed, and Eddie reference. That's all it is. What are you thinking of?
That's
get
true.
your head
That
out
is
of the
true.
gutter.
I actually
Double
did.
D?
I definitely did think of Ed, and Eddie when you said that. I'm not gonna lie, and I was like, oh, I missed that show. But
We
yeah,
didn't miss this show.
no, we didn't miss this show.
No.
They showcased 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. Yeah, 6. 1, 2,
Six.
3, 4, 5. No, I'm dumb. 5
Yeah.
games, and they started off with the one that's probably the one I've been most curious about, because I feel like I'm the only one who's really explored the spin-off Minecraft games. The one,
Yeah.
I should say.
What are you talking about? I play Dungeons with Logan all the time.
Well, I played it a lot by myself for a while.
It's a you problem.
Yeah, I know, I did. It was, but I really enjoyed it. I felt it was like a really good like for Logan, or kind of in general, people who want to play like a Diablo-esque game, but they want it simplified as fuck. It was this like tutorial game. Here you go. You know what I mean? Even though I still think that they missed out on the one thing I disliked about that game. I think they missed out on when you do the missions, you should be rewarded with crafting materials. So when you go to your home base, you could actually build your own stuff. I think like you can build your own home and all that other stuff. I think that would have been a much more rewarding loop than the one that they have, but that's fine. Anyways, besides the point. But now they have Minecraft Legends, which is like It reminds me a lot of Warcraft 3. What did you guys?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay, I was gonna
Minecraft, Warcraft. Yep.
Yeah. So, your guys' thoughts now that I've rambled on about their other game, Dungeons?
Yeah, dude. Real-time strategy Minecraft.
Yeah.
Not something I would have ever thought of, but after watching the show, like I was vaguely aware of it, and then watching the show, I was like, oh, there's gonna be PvP. Oh,
Yeah.
it's actually really cool. Oh, I actually really want to play this, and it's gonna be on Game Pass, so I'm going to, and y'all are gonna be in there with me.
Yeah.
Looks really good. It'll be Logan's first RTS.
He will absolutely love that.
He'll go ham over that.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Ham, because the enemies are the pigs. Nice.
It's true. Yeah, I see you. I
Got
see
you. I
you.
got you.
Yeah, I something I really liked about the PvP is the fact that it doesn't totally disregard the main enemy of the game. They're just another faction. Like you have you and your team, you got the enemy team, and then you just got these little annoying fucking pigs that are just gonna fuck your day up if you don't pay attention. And it's just like, oh, I love that little element that they left that in there. So
Yeah, I feel like that's something that is pretty uncommon to see in real-time strategy style games. Like occasionally you'd have like an objective to like wipe out the tertiary force or whatever.
yeah,
But for like there to be PvPvE as like the mainstay for it, I think is really interesting.
yeah. Well, and like you said, I was surprised that they came out talking about PvP to begin with, right? I thought we were going to get a little bit more of the story beats when they said they were going to talk about it. Like, nah, fuck the story. You guys want to fuck up your friends? Because that's what we got. Like,
Yes,
That's what video
absolutely.
games are for.
I mean, that's true. That is true. There is truth to that.
Yeah. It's interesting the way they described it too, how when you're playing PvP, it's like a team of players versus a team of players.
Yeah.
And your team shares resources and units. So I wonder how that's going to work.
Yeah, I will
I
say.
think there was a mode in one of the Age of Empires games where you could share resources. But
yes.
I don't recall. I've never
Yes.
seen unit sharing before. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of that. I've played resource sharing in RTS games, and it's normally a pain in the ass. And I
Yeah.
mean, if like, let's say it's like us three, and then like Shane or Ben or somebody were all jump into it, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But like to do that with randos is gonna
fuck
be
that.
awful. Like, it's gonna
Yeah.
it would completely. I will not play that game PvP if I don't have friends. Right? Like I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Specifically
honestly,
because of that.
That's most online games.
I mean, that
man.
is true. That is true. That is true. But I just feel like that resource sharing, like, will make it even more difficult, right? You know what I mean?
Right, it's a mechanic that seems very griefable.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, because you could just have somebody who's just in there and they're just like, you know what, fuck this game, and they're like, I spent all the wood, fuck you guys, on just like
Right.
nothing, right? And you're just like, why? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that makes me hope that for the PvP, I think they only showed like was it like teams of 4 against each other or
Yep,
something?
yep.
I hope that they're you can queue up for like different numbers of like players against each other.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you can do
Um,
anywhere from 1 to 4. I don't.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
would be nice.
They did say it's going to be crossplay as well, so
Yep.
that's cool out the box.
Yeah.
Respect.
Basically everything they showed was really cool, and you can just run out and get a mount. Like, what was that about?
Yeah,
That girl's
they're
like,
different mounts and they
That
have
was
different
pretty cool.
abilities.
yeah,
The purple tiger.
yeah, and they didn't go too far into the abilities of like the individual like players or whatever, but that they mentioned the mounts, and then they kind of showed off them all riding different mounts or whatever, which was cool. And then did you notice that they talked about putting traps down like behind their walls and stuff?
Yeah.
And I was just like, something I noticed when they were doing that. There's a pinging system. Like when she was putting down the trap, it said ping for friendlies or something to that effect or whatever. And I was like, oh, there's a
Good.
ping system. Love that.
Well,
right?
so that is a new thing in shooters, but you've been able to ping like shit on mini maps in RTSs
RTSs,
for
yeah.
like 30 years.
Right. you
That's
ca-
funny to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. I just think it's a good like
It's cool.
touch, right? You know what I mean? Because you're right, you have been able to ping forever, but I will say I thought of Apex as soon as I saw it. Like,
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Apex.
I thought of Age of Empires right off the bat because
Yeah.
you could be like,
You're
I'm
right.
under attack, I'm
Yeah.
under attack, I'm under
Yeah.
attack, and like show on
Spam
the
the
map.
fuck
Yeah,
out of
you
it,
could just annoy the shit out of everybody until they
Yeah.
came and helped or let you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely more on Cody's side of that because it's like it's from the third person perspective. You're running around and shit, so it feels like more agency rather than like the top down of an RTS.
Right.
I do wonder how long it'll take before there's either a mod or a official mode because all of the elements are already there for this to just turn into a MOBA.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think it
that's
will
kind
be
of
an
the
official mode.
that seems like what the game is. It's like a hybrid RTS MOBA third person building game.
Yeah.
'Cause
You mean what
you have,
Dawn
like,
of War tried, but we
towers, and you
hated
have
it.
to go and destroy the other enemy's base. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace.
But that was different because Dawn of War it's
Yeah.
not what anyone was there for.
Yeah, I think I do think that is different because you had the original Dawn of War like trilogy, right? Or not trilogy, but like the Dawn of War and Winter Assault and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what people wanted or whatever, and then they didn't get that. Like Dawn of War 2's campaign was super cool. Multiplayer I wasn't as big a fan of. I think Tim, you're in the same boat as me on that. I really like the campaign.
We're in the minority though. Like I will say, like you and me are in the same. I prefer OG Dawn of War.
Yeah.
Versus the more like squad based small tactics of Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
But Dawn of War 2 was super popular. The issue Dawn of War 3 had is they tried to please everybody and in the end they
Yeah.
pleased no one.
Yeah. and they
Yeah,
made
definitely.
everybody hate them. Is
Yep.
what they did. But yeah, I was just
Better not fuck up the what is it? What is the other
Company of Heroes too.
Company of Heroes. Thank you. Better not fuck up Company of Heroes.
oh
Looking
god.
good.
Yeah, you think Warhammer fans will come after you? Jesus Christ.
There's one more thing I would have mentioned about Minecraft Legends. For the PvP, they also said that the maps that you play on are going to
Yes.
be procedurally generated
Yes.
each time you play. And I think
Also, it's a
that
random
is going to
seed.
go a long way towards like longevity of like
Right.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because there's so many games where it's like, if you don't memorize the map, you're immediately at a disadvantage.
Mhm.
And so replacing that with like a totally random map,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's there. And I hate that I keep saying this. It's another thing though that it is procedurally generated maps are new to some things. Strategy games have been doing that for so long though. Like I'm glad it's there. I'd be upset if it wasn't there.
Is that like
But,
a
like,
common thing?
Yeah, the Age of Empires series, like random map. You can do
Well,
that.
that's probably where they're
do that
pulling a
every
lot of
single
this since they now
They,
own
they, oh, I
Age of
guarantee.
Empires.
They probably leaned really heavy on the RTS genre, and like
Yeah.
there are some like Dawn of War is a good example of one where the map is you have set maps.
Right.
They are the same. If you want random, you need to either download new ones or generate it.
Right.
But like Age of Empires, classic example, you can do random maps, and even like turn-based strategy games. If you look at like Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, really
Yeah.
old game. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people play it or have played it that would listen to this probably, but strategy games, yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm glad it is there, and I would have been kind of like meh if it wasn't.
Right.
I'm happy for it, but
Either way, it was a very good showing for
say.
Minecraft Legends.
I'll
Yeah.
also say this:
I think a lot of
it's new to me, but given that there hasn't been a good hyper successful RTS since StarCraft 3, it's gonna be new to a lot of gamers.
StarCraft 3.
StarCraft 2? Did I say 3?
Yeah, you said 3.
I guess I just combined Warcraft and StarCraft in my head.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I agree. This could ignite. This could reignite passion for the genre. I mean,
Right.
if this becomes very successful, maybe we'll see people, and with Company of Heroes 2 coming out too. You know,
So
there's
the
some
look
good
on
stuff going
Cody's
on.
face, has it been that long? Yeah, StarCraft 2, we were in high school there, bud.
Yeah.
It's
No,
been a
I
long
remember
time.
that, but I was like, my thing was like, when did Command and Conquer 3 come out with the screen and all that? Or
Right
whatever?
around the same time.
It was a couple years before
Yeah.
StarCraft or whatever. Because I played StarCraft right before the. I hate that my life is split up like this. Like it was right before I joined the military. Like I was living with my dad or whatever. So like that's why I remember exactly what you're talking about because I had like my first laptop and all that kind of stuff and I was playing it on there. Um, but yeah, God, it has been that long since a really good RTS has come out.
Yeah, Warcraft or StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, 2010.
Yeah. Oh, good
That's
old
fair
days. Halo Reach, 2010. Anyways, instead of going down that path, we'll talk about this road of Forza Motorsport. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts. There's a lot of shiny cars and it looks cool. I'm not a racing fan, so I don't really have any big like coherent thoughts about this. It looks pretty. It looks like it's good. I don't really know what else to say about it.
Tim, are you raising your hand?
No, I was adjusting my headset. Sorry, it's
I got you. I can see it.
controls right here.
Yeah, I thought everything they talked about sounded cool. Talking about how they managed to get such like high fidelity graphics and like they were talking about how they captured the realistic reflections for each of the different colors of paint for the cars and like the way dirt accumulates on them and everything. The way the audio, like the noises the car makes, changes based on how you tune the car. So like
That's crazy detail.
It seems really cool for somebody who's like a big car enthusiast.
Right.
That's not me, but that's very impressive looking.
I also, the thing that I'm honestly most impressed about, because didn't Forza, am I crazy? They just had a game come out at the end of, not this December, but the December before.
I think that was a Forza Horizon, which is another team.
It's a different team.
Oh, they're two different teams?
They share tech. They're under the same umbrella. They share a lot in between the teams, but it is a separate team.
Okay.
These are the people who are not doing Fable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been super confused lately. Once again, not a huge racing fan, but everybody's like, Forza?
10?
Yeah, it's turn 10. It's in the
And then Playground is the other team that that does Horizons and is doing Fable.
Yeah, but everybody's like, what about Forza? What about Forza? Like, I kept hearing that leading up to this direct. Like, I was hearing something. I was like, what the fuck about Forza? It came out a year ago.
We just had one, yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? And you know what I mean? So I was slightly confused. So
yeah, so to me, Forza looks beautiful, and I guess I expect no less of Forza. Like the Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon games are always technically really good.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem like they kind of upped the ante this time because of maybe what happened last year with Gran Turismo. Because Forza Motorsport in particular is Xbox's answer to Gran Turismo. Always has been. It's like, hey, you know, when PlayStation has you know, people say Xbox has no games, and like, well, with racing games, they've always had Motorsport, and Motorsport's always been about on solid standing ground with Turismo and Gran Turismo. They put in such crazy detail into 7, but then they fucked it up with all the microtransactions, and that's something that and I think if Motorsport can capitalize on that, now you're not winning PlayStation players over to Xbox just for your racing game, but you might drive racing sim enthusiasts towards your platform for Forza. So that's kind of cool. I don't know, but that again though, that's like I'm always impressed with how good the Forza games look and sound, to the point where I'm not really impressed by it anymore. It's almost an expectation, which is sad because they do such an excellent job on such a consistent basis. They are, without question at this point, right now, today, Xbox's most reliably consistent good like games are the Forza games right now. Like if there's an Xbox game that's releasing in a given year and you need it to be good technically, from a technical standpoint, it might not be the biggest seller, but from a technical aspect, gonna run great, gonna look great, gonna sound great, Forza.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. I think that's all we got to really say about Forza. Also,
this
Forza,
next game sounds great.
It does. It does sound great. I just want to say Forza doesn't have a release date yet. It just has 2023. And we forgot to mention for Minecraft, it's April 18th, I believe, of this year. But then we had Hi-Fi Rush, which honestly looks like a ton of fun. It's a cell shaded rhythm action game. So I mean, I have no rhythm. I embody the white boy problems. I can't hit on a beat or anything like that. But what did you guys think about it?
It looked cool.
Yeah.
I like that it's cell shaded. I did you guys notice how they're doing like the low frames per second thing,
Mhm.
like Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely caught my eye. Like that's very unusual, I would say. Um, I I think this is really interesting coming from the team who made Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yes.
The part that made me
Absolutely
laugh.
unexpected.
Right.
Like holy shit, really trying something different, which is pretty cool to see. Um I wasn't really taken by this game too much, just because while I like rhythm games and I like action games, the kind of like setting and vibe for this just didn't attract me. It just felt like kind of like a more like they were going for a more juvenile audience maybe, and it
little
just
bit,
didn't
yeah.
catch my attention.
Yeah. It reminds me of a more juvenile version of what was Cyberpunk's anime?
Oh, Edge Runners?
Yeah.
Night City.
No,
Yeah.
Edge Runners is what it made me think of.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just very juvenile. Like, but I remember I was saying before the show started, the writing is very anime, right? Like that's kind of what it made me think of, kind of thing. And the more I think about it, yeah, it makes me think of Cyberpunk, but Edge Runners and for little people. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, like young
For the
children
young.
and kind of that kind of thing. But I mean, it still looks cool. Like it's free. Well, not free, but it's it's gonna be on Game Pass.
Yeah. Game Pass. It's basically free.
Yeah, so it made me
Yeah.
it made me think about like, hey, I'll download it and maybe I'll like it. Lost in Random wasn't the most adult game I've ever played, and I had a good time with it. So fuck it, give it a shot.
Mhm.
So I don't know, Tim, did you have any thoughts about it?
I did. So it was the one game from the showcase that I thought it's probably the one. Maybe it's because it's the one that I didn't know about. Right,
Mhm.
like we didn't know.
Yeah, it was
We
kind of
can-
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere, and like the shadow drop, that's really cool.
Yeah, available now.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised to hear that Justin's not as interested in it because I got Jet Set vibes from the art style and just it's like Jet Set Radio but with combat and rhythm based.
yeah,
That was the vibe I got, and that made me go, "Oh, that looks really cool." The story we'll see. Cody was like, "I'm surprised. The story seemed very anime. I'm not sure that I didn't think you would like it." I was like, "I don't know. That's not really what drew me to it." The story, maybe it's great. Maybe it would lose me halfway through. I don't know, but I'm downloading it right now to check it out because Game Pass.
yeah,
But yeah, I immediately with the cell shaded and the just the way that a lot of the characters were drawn, I immediately was like, "Oh yeah, this looks like Jet Set Radio in some ways." I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I
check this
definitely
out.
got that from like the generic enemy characters.
Yeah.
Definitely got those
Yeah.
vibes from that.
Yeah, and I really this is not related to that at all, but the whole fact that he's just constantly snapping his fingers to the beat, I
Yeah.
thought that was really funny. And I think the thing that I thought was the cool, like we've seen rhythm based games and we've seen some rhythm based combat games, but we haven't seen a rhythm based third person action RPG combat game before. I was like, that looks
Yeah.
unique and interesting. And it's Tango, and Tango likes to try weird shit.
Yeah, the combat sounds kind of cool the way they described it, where they encourage you to attack on the beat, and
Yeah.
that will like give you better combos or more damage or something.
Mhm.
But they also said it's not like you have to like have precise button presses to like play. So it's cool that it's there for people to access, but it's not like restricting you from like playing the game if you can't either.
It's not like beats per minute where if you go off the beat, you get shot and die. The other thing that I thought was interesting and kind of intriguing about it was Justin, like you kind of knows the low frame rate. I thought that was kind of ingenious because you can really get away with that with a rhythm game.
Yeah.
because things are kind of moving on the beat, and you're
Yeah.
trying to. So like, you don't need that high-paced action because you're just trying to keep in tempo. So that was really unique decision. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I th- I I think when I was talking to you guys earlier, I said Arcane makes bangers.
Yeah.
Like if there's an Arcane game, I just trust that it's gonna be pretty
Good.
fucking good.
Yeah.
I don't have that thought about Tango. Like, I liked The Evil Within.
Yeah.
I liked The Evil Within 2, and Ghostwire Tokyo was it was interesting, but it wasn't like great to me. But one thing that I will never say about Tango Gameworks is I'll never say that they're afraid to try something different and new, because every single time they like to pivot and put new shit in there, and like I respect that. That's cool. I hope that this one's a hit. I hope that they have a hit on their hands, because it looks it doesn't look like anything I've seen before, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one we can kind of blow through real quick. Elder Scrolls Online has a new expansion, basically Necrom. If you're interested in that, it's coming out in June 20th, and they're adding a new class called the Arcanist, which actually looks dope. Not gonna lie. I have been thinking about getting into ESO, but then I'm also like, am I gonna stick with it? Like, do I want to waste the time creating a character? You know what I mean? Like, and getting into it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because it's an MMO, and it's like it's never ending, and I don't finish things as is. So it's been a back and forth for me personally.
We should all just make characters. Well, Tim doesn't have to make a character; he's got one.
He's probably got
And
20.
jump into it.
How many character slots are there? Tim's filled them up.
Don't know. Haven't filled them up.
Oh, surprising.
I made a Nord and I didn't get very far, and I fell off of it.
Yeah.
I liked ESO when I played it. I didn't love ESO. I'm happy for those that love it, but I cannot for the life of me. The whole idea that they still have, you buy the game, you buy the expansions, and you have a subscription. It's like, fucking pick one.
Well, you don't have
Pick
to.
one of your monetization models. You don't have to, but like it's
very incentivized, but you don't have to.
But the fact that all three of those are how they're monetizing that game, I have a hard time getting behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, because the subscription stuff, I was actually reading it earlier when I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll install it. And it's like you get like a bag of holding that's like infinite and goes across characters and stuff if you have the fucking subscription and stuff. Like, they have incentivized the fuck out of it. And it's like that. That's the thing, is that if that was the only game I was going to play for the next year, worth the money. I know for a fucking fact that's not going to be the only game I probably play that day, let alone the next year. You know what I mean? So I got to give ESO this, right? It came out 10 years ago now, something like that, 9 years ago, 2013-ish, 15. I remember
I think it was after Fallout 4.
Was it? I'd have to look it up. Either way.
It was around the same time.
Either way, it's been around for almost a decade. It's obviously doing something right. So props to them.
April 4th, 2014.
Okay.
So before Fallout 4, same year.
Yeah. Props to them, or whatever. It's been out for quite a while and stuff like that. So continue to do good things. Justin, did you have anything you wanted to hit on there?
I had no idea there was open world PvP in that game.
Oh, yeah.
That shocked me. Like, absolutely shocked me to my core.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. That's awesome.
I think they had it day one, I think.
That's so cool. Yeah, I only played I played like the beta
Yeah.
briefly, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, though? It has first-person mode, but I don't know
does.
if you can see your feet.
Yeah. But built-in first-person mode and not needing a mod is always nice.
Oh, speaking of that, I saw a
Valheim.
Valheim thing.
Yeah.
One of the people working on Valheim posted that they are implementing a feature so that your character's hair meshes, and that, like, there's a hair model for all of the different helmet types that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's gonna fix my issues with that first person mod that I use, where it like makes you all bald and helmetless.
Yeah.
I thought you
And
were going to
maybe
say
they're going to
that
be
they were-
implementing first person.
That's where I thought you were going with that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
If it was toggleable, and I didn't have to fucking like do a mod, I would probably try it
That'd
out
be
because
great.
watching the TikTok you made, Tim, and just kind of like watching Justin stream while we were doing it or whatever, I was like, yo, that looks dope. Those monsters
Yeah.
look scary as fuck. Like,
When I remember when I first used it,
Yeah.
I went and I fought a troll, and it was after I was like, I played for a while. Trolls are no big deal, but then in
Yeah.
first person, it was like a whole new terror came
Yeah.
over me.
yeah,
It
Yeah, it's
was
something else.
when I was watching the footage back to edit that, watching the seeker explode into bits in front of you when I shot it was something else. And
Yeah,
the
so
sound,
cool.
I was like, "Oh my god, that's different. That's very
Yeah.
different than what I experienced from up on that hill with that bow."
Well, something else that's very different that I feel like we all have differing opinion. Well, I think I have the differing opinion on is last but not least, they showed Redfall today. Kind of some extended gameplay, showing a little bit more what it is. It is what we thought it was. It's Borderlands, basically, just to sum it up real easy. It's a 4-player co-op looter shooter if you want it to be. You can play it by yourself if you want to. And you're fucking killing vampires. But I'll throw this to Tim because I think Tim has the most thoughts, and I feel like he's the most negative. So we'll start with the most negative.
Negative
and
on it.
then
I'm not even negative on it.
I
I'll be the most negative.
okay. I mean, whoever wants to take the role, I don't know, but just what's your thoughts there, Tim, my boy?
Well, we were talking about this earlier, and I'm really rooting for Redfall. I'm a big fan of Arcane Studios, both Arcane Austin and Arcane Lyon. They just make bangers. They've made some of my favorite games of all time in the Dishonored series, and I really like Deathloop. And I there are a lot of elements to this game that I look at and I go, I can see where they are going with some of it. I really hope that it's good. I love you'd think that I would be all about it because it's Arcane and it's an open world game, and those are things that I love. But every time I see it, I just go, okay, it looks good. It looks pretty good. I thought when I heard they were doing an open world shooter with vampires, I was like, oh, that's hype. Every time I see it, I'm like, yeah,
Not hype.
it looks like an Arcane game. It doesn't look bad. I'm probably going to play it, and I'm probably going to like it. But I haven't seen anything that has made me super excited for it. It's going to be on Game Pass, so I'm going to play it day one, and I'm going to check it out. But if it wasn't on Game Pass, would I run out to the stores and buy it like I did with Dishonored and Dishonored 2? I don't know. I'm it's just the gameplay I've seen has made me go, it looks okay.
I just want to point out: is anybody really running out and buying $70 games these days? Like, it's
Even
a
if
set-
it was 60, I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think the days of people really like running out to buy games at $70 is just like kind of like, like most people are looking for better value these days. So I don't.
I agree. I think that's becoming a more common sentiment
Yeah,
amongst all gamers now.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, I'll wait.
yeah,
I'll wait.
yeah. I think that's. I'm not saying your point is invalid, but I don't know who's going out and buying brand
Having
new
recently
games.
managed a video game store, I'm gonna tell you I have a different perspective on that because Call of Duty, we had a line.
Yeah,
Pokemon, we had a fucking line.
I
Like, if people are excited, even 2K, we had people show up at like we were supposed to stay open a little past 9 o'clock,
Right.
like maybe 9:30. We had people showing up till 10:15, just wanting to get 2K on launch day. So, generally speaking, if it's not one of the annual top sellers, I think you're probably right. But
yeah.
there are still plenty of people that if they really want the game day one, they're gonna go out and they're gonna fucking find it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily fair, like you said, the annual sellers, like those are the strongest. Like Pokemon in particular is literally the most successful franchise on the planet. I don't know if it's really fair. I don't know how it's fair to compare Redfall to that. I'm talking about just kind of a general sense, but no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you with all that whole tangent. Did you have anything else on there or no? Or do you want to kick it to Justin?
No, it looks. I don't really have any strong opinions or thoughts on it. I look at it and I go, it looks good, but
He's very whelmed, as he
Whelmed.
said
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yes.
yeah, that's what I said earlier. Like I don't feel I don't think it's gonna be bad. I don't look at it and I go, that looks
Right.
like shit. Oh god, this is really releasing this. It looks terrible. I'm just like, it's fine. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be really negative about this game. Let me just start with that. Where we were talking about how Hi-Fi Rush looks really cool. They're trying new shit, very
Yeah.
neat. Everything in Redfall has been done before.
Right.
There's nothing exciting about it. You've got 4 characters. They have branching skill trees. You've got guns. You shoot things. That's all I'm seeing from this game. It's open world, but like, have we seen anything that's open world about it? Like, what's cool about it being open world? What do you can go from one zone to the next without loading screen? Like, meh. You see these abilities where it's like, it's cool because it's leaning into the vampire thing. He plants like a big UV light.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just an AoE. Like, meh. There's no reason I would play this instead of like Back for Blood.
See, and that actually came to my mind when I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, we were all kind of excited for Back for Blood, right? And there is not the same sentiment for this game, and I'm kind of confused by it because, like, you saw the trailer, right? And it wasn't very impressive. You're like, why is it cool to be in the open world? And I'm like, yo, they said we're gonna go kill some fucking vampire gods. Like, what's not cool about that? You know what I mean? And then I like how they implemented like the idea of like vampire culture and stuff like that, or like stories with like the stakes, right? They named your knife or whatever under the barrel of your gun. They renamed it as a stake, and there's gonna be a bunch of different ones that you can fucking find and customize and whatnot. Like, I find that enjoyable, right? And I'm not saying like Redfall is going to be this.
One of
huge
them was
thing.
literally just a bayonet, though. Like,
No,
I get what
it
you're
was.
saying, but like
It
one of them
was.
was literally a bayonet, and I was like, "How is this a vampire stake?"
Right,
It's a
but
fucking-
what
it's a
if
combat knife.
what
I
if
don't
they
understand.
Xbox owns Gears? What if they have a gun that like the bayonet under it basically is the fucking chainsaw from Gears? Like, you know what I mean? Like they can do cool stuff like that, right? They haven't gotten into the whole character customization a whole lot because obviously the characters are mostly preset when it comes to like their looks and stuff like that. And I hope they have more character customization options. I'm not here to say Redfall is going to be the biggest banger, but I do think it's going to be a lot more exciting. I don't really like. There's not outside of Borderlands, and I can't think off the top of my head, so I could be like totally off base here, but I can't think of a whole lot of like 4-player looter shooters that I want to go out and play with my friends like today. Even Borderlands, like I've wanted to play Tiny Tina, right? But I just haven't been willing to pay the $30 even when it's on sale, right? I'm like, I want to get it cheaper, kind of thing. But like, I thought Tiny Tina looked cool. Just been waiting for that to come down in price, kind of thing. But like, just
You
a
mentioned
4-player.
Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
That reminded me, like, I feel kind of the same way about Tiny Tina as I
Yeah.
do about this game. This
Yeah.
game feels like it has like a thin veneer of vampire stuff,
Yeah.
but it's really just this game underneath.
Yeah.
Tiny Tina has like a thin veneer of like
D&D.
fantasy RPG,
Yeah.
but it's just a Borderlands game too.
Yeah. And maybe it's just a genre thing, or maybe people are sick of it. I don't know. But all I can think about is like, we played an hour of co-op Halo and had the fucking time of our lives, right? So why couldn't we also have that same experience in Redfall? Like, Redfall looks like it could have those same type of things if we all got in there. Obviously, you don't have like the ragdoll physics and stuff like that really makes things go off the wall or whatever. But all 3 of us going
I don't
in
get to blow you up with a plasma canister.
Right. But like
the same.
all 3 of us like being able to like sneak through in like a Far Cry-esque like location, right? All 3 of us can like come in from different, and we can sneak and fucking kill shit or whatever. Like, I think there's just a lot of things that as a co-op game it can be a lot of fun. I would love to go around and just kill vampire gods. Like, fuck the story. Like, let's do that. And then they also had the emergent stuff, right? Which was like the brewery thing or whatever or bar or whatever that they talked about. Where like there was, and this is probably gets repetitive after a while because we've seen it before. But you know, you're walking around, you see that this fucking place
Another
has been
brewery needs your help.
yeah, but you know, you're walking around and brewery's been taken over. Beep, bop, boom. Go in there real quick. Jump off second story fucking balconies or whatever to jump into the middle of a room with an MP5 and blow. Like, I don't know. And then they have like the raids. right on top of that. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're in the psychic realm, which was kind of cheesy. I won't lie. You know what I mean? But it looks like the psychic realm thing. It's like a raid that you do with friends, and it gives you a chance to find better loot. And then and then it has that cool thing. You destroy the heart, and then it like starts to like come in on itself. And on your way out, you're still trying to loot, but you're running away as it's like fucking closing in and stuff. Like I think
It's an Oblivion game.
yeah,
Yep.
it basically is. But I think there's a lot of things there that are a lot more exciting than people in general aren't really giving it credit for. Once again, not going to be. I'm not saying it's going to be the biggest banger, but I think it's going to be like if I was going to give it a Metacritic score and just like an 84, 85, and like what else? Like that's a good game. You know what I mean? Like I don't expect it to be like a 94, 97 or something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's been kind of my read on it the whole time. Is like it's going to be a very solid game that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, and it's going to be good for the Game Pass catalog.
I think that. So. I get what you're saying. I understand, and we're gonna play it.
I'm sure we will.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
It looks good, but nothing about it excites me, and I think part of it for me is it's a new IP.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the type of game Arcane has really made before. They've made games with similar mechanics because you have some of the same shooting mechanics as you had in Deathloop. You have some of the same ability mechanics that you had in Dishonored.
Yep.
But I think Arcane and I think Immersive Sins, I think Dishonored, I think Prey, I think Deathloop, I think single player, I'm going to have different ways to approach these missions. I'm going to maybe this time I'll go in and kill all the guards maybe I'll sneak around. Maybe I'll flood this room with a rat plague and then it'll just eat everything. Like there are so many different ways you can approach things, and in an open world setting that does open up more possibilities, but I haven't seen them present other than today when they showed you using a stealth ability to sneak through past or shooting everything in a different section. I haven't seen anything that shows me that there's going to be that level of in-depth choice to your gameplay. And because when we think choice in video games, usually people are like, oh yeah, Mass Effect. That's one way to do choice in a video game, sure. Like dialogue-based choices and decisions that you make that affect the story, sure.
Yeah.
I think of Dishonored. I think of your approach, the different options you have to playing the game. That's real player-driven choice, especially when it affects story, which it, again, Dishonored does.
Yeah.
So they haven't showcased anything that shows me that that's more of a thing, even though this is the setting where they have the most possibility because it's an open world. So I want to be excited like you, Cody, but I'm just not because I haven't seen anything that's got me to that level. So I have enough trust in Arcane that I think it will be good.
Right. I think,
but it's not gonna. I don't think it'll be I don't think it's Deathloop. I don't think it's a game of the year contender right now. Before it's come out, we might be. Who knows?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really like Deathloop. Tried it.
I know you
did,
which is
came
weird.
Tried it when it came to Game Pass, and I was just
it's
not
even weirder to me that you're excited about this.
Because I like Dishonored. I do like Dishonored. I will say, if I had to pick what a weak point's going to be about this game, I have a feeling it's going to be the story. The story is probably going to be, but that's made up for. It's a 4-player co-op game. I'm not like, I'm here to play with friends and listen to like weird, like whatever weird shit you throw out there. If the story's great, that'd be awesome. But if I had to pick what I predict what a weak point is probably the story.
If I get hooked in it though, I probably will play it more.
Oh, 100%.
Like if I actually get hooked, I'll play it more than you guys, and I'll play it single player.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Tim.
Yeah.
Because that's how I play that style of game.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I'm either gonna get hooked into it and play the shit out of it and be in 6 months from now being like, oh no, it is my game of the year, or I'm not. There's no 50-50. Like it's either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah. From what we've seen, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it could be a lot of fun to actually sit down and play.
Yeah, I
only time will tell.
I will say, hey, have you guys noticed a trend recently with Xbox? I'm starting to realize. I think Redfall is the third in the group of trends. I don't know if you'll agree with my first one. Have you noticed that they're letting well, I guess no, there's 4. I have you noticed that they're really encouraging these studios to go outside their wheelhouse?
Yeah, dude.
I don't even think they're encouraging it. I think that what they're doing is they're being brought ideas and they're being like, you want to make that?
Yeah, or actually
make it.
5, because
I think
so
they're just encouraging Pentiment and
yeah. So
all that shit, yeah.
Obsidian's probably the biggest proponent of this,
Yeah.
right? Because you
They've
got
done so
Grounded,
much shit.
you got Pentiment, and then there's another game that I just thought about and I just forgot. I think that I'm trying to remember. Oh, they're also doing Avowed.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So there's 3. Those games are all different,
Super different.
right? Avowed's probably the closest to what they've done in the past, right? But then Playground Games is now doing Fable. The Evil Within guys is doing a fucking rhythm game. You know what I mean? Right? Minecraft is an RTS now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so when we talk about people working outside their wheelhouse, I would say Redfall is probably the safest outside of their wheelhouse that we've seen so far, right? And I think Arcane is taking a baby step here when it comes to that, right? Because like Tim said, a lot of similar abilities, similar gameplay type. You know what I mean? Like it's not even an entire new genre, right? The biggest difference for them is that it's co-op. And it's fully open world, right? At least from what we've seen so far. I had a question about the fully open world or whatever, because when they showed the thing, they were talking about safe houses. And I'm curious if the safe houses are just going to be fast travel points around the map so you can get to sections faster instead of having to walk, or if it's going to be zoned. So it's partially, you know what I mean? Like
Open zone, like Sonic?
Or Pokemon Legends Arceus, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That is my one question.
Borderlands?
Or Borderlands, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of games. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I am curious about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just I'm more encouraged with seeing all these people go outside the wheelhouse, because I think that's how you get games like Pentiment, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, and I haven't played Pentiment yet, but I know everybody
it's how you get grounded.
It's how you get grounded, right? Like I don't know. So I'm excited. What?
That's how you get grounded.
Yeah.
That's how you get grounded, Cody. Behave.
I also did want to bring something else up about the Xbox Direct. The release date of Redfall. It is too close. It is too close to Starfield.
We don't know when. We still don't know when Starfield is.
Starfield is. Everybody's talking about June. Everybody's talking about June. It's what they're talking about. There is no game here that is before March, other than I take it back. Hi-Fi Rush is out now, right? You can go download it now. I worry about the cadence. Because I feel like Redfall is going to get stepped on by Starfield. Like, regardless, there's nothing you can do about that. I understand they're both new IPs. Bethesda is going to stomp out Arcane in anything, basically, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just... So I'm not a fan of that release date. It's probably good. I
was worried about that happening. Yeah. I thought we were going to have it happen like February and March at one point. I think I may have said that on here.
Yeah.
But now it's just May and June, and that's like, ooh.
I mean, it's summer, right? Like it's a great time to release games. Kids are getting out of school and stuff like that.
It's not a great time to release games. It's not.
That's when people have the most free time.
As far as game sales go, as far as like video game sales go, that is the slowest time of year.
Oh, well, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that.
By a country mile.
Oh, I wonder why that is. Oh, because everybody's out. Yeah.
Everybody's outside. You're like, kids are getting out of school. Yeah, they're going to go play outside. They're going to go touch grass.
Tim, kids don't play outside like they used to. We know that.
I have them. They do, unfortunately.
I
want him to stay here and play video games with me. He's like, no, my friends. I'm like, they suck. Don't.
I know Nora's always begging to go to the gym to see the other kids, but no, I just I'm just really worried about the cadence, because not only that, right? Like, what else? And then also, what else is coming out this year, right? After Starfield, like what? So you're gonna have 2 games basically. Technically, no, they're both Q3. Right, because you got Q1's October. I'm trying to remember. Do they do? Hold on. What's the fiscal year? Is October, November, December for Q1?
No.
That's the military. That's why I'm getting confused. Military
Yes.
fiscal year starts in October.
So fiscal years vary business to business.
Yeah.
Generally, like at my new job,
Yeah.
we are in Q1 already.
Yeah, we should be. Yeah.
Most companies,
Is it December?
Q4 ends this month. Q1 starts in February.
Okay. Then,
Or some companies is March.
yeah.
But generally we are in Q4 or the beginning of Q1 right now.
So, but basically, you're gonna have two games that are so close to being on top of each other, they might as well be in the same quarter, and they're supposed to be.
They will be in the same quarter.
Yeah, flagship.
May and June are same quarter.
Yeah, I mean that's just not. Then what? Like, and then what do you have for the rest of the year? Is like the question, right? Forza, like is that going to be it? Like, after a drought in 2022, because both these games are supposed to come out last year, right?
So the running theory is that E3 is going to be Xbox's ramp up to the release of Starfield, but also E3 is where you get all of your more releases. And it sounds also like they're aiming to do more of these double Ds.
Yeah.
As we go on, more of these developer directs.
Yeah.
So if they do another one 2 months from now, maybe we get a release date for something that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Could it be Avowed? It's not going to be Fable. Although, okay, was it Matt Booty? Is that who it was? One of the Xbox studio heads has multiple times said Fable is close. It looks so good every time I see it, and then he keeps getting pushback from Playground, like, "Hey, we're not quite ready yet."
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is the year. Well, I would say it's probably the year where we get something. Is that a release date? Is that just a teaser? Something.
I bet we see like another teaser. Look, if I want to see any other game
Outer
right now,
Worlds 2 is probably something that we're because they said further along as well.
The only game I care about this year, outside of the two that are already coming out, which is Starfield and Redfall, is Avowed. That game has been radio silent. It will have been for like 3 years. It needs to come out. Something needs to come out the woodwork on that game.
Dude, that's how I feel about Hellblade.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot.
Oh yeah, Hellblade.
Totally forgot about fucking Hellblade. Like
that would be great.
2 years going on. 2 years since they've had anything since that fucking phenomenal,
that amazing trailer.
Yeah, I was.
What is what's the one that they pulled in? Fucking it was a Square Enix studio that got sold to Embracer. They do the Lara Croft games.
I don't know the studio.
They did Marvel's Avengers. Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
They're working on an Xbox title. What is it? Something dark. Alone in the Dark? Are they working on the Alone in the Dark reboot?
I don't remember.
With another studio, with the first fucking quadruple A studio is what they called themselves. I forget.
I really don't want to hear any more about this. You said quadruple A. I'm done. I'm out of this conversation. Let us move on.
What? Hang on. I need to remember because I need to give them shit.
You remember. Let's hit these last couple topics real quick because actually
the initiative. That's what it is. Yeah. So the new game the reboot that they're working on has also been radio silent for a while. So there are things that I expect we will get announcements and dates for, whether they're this year or early next year. Well, yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna skip the Fat Shark thing because it's not.
Don't even mention it.
Yeah, because I didn't mean to spend that much time on Redfall, but I do think this deserves at least a couple minutes about Justin Roiland. He had some domestic violence charges, and so he's gone from Adult Swim, Rick and Morty, everything. But I thought Justin, you brought this up in the
launch,
right? Rip a lot of characters. He did so many characters in that fucking show. So, and they're recasting all of them.
Studio that he was running.
I forgot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're carrying on.
Yeah,
they're gonna make it.
What was I gonna say? But Justin, you brought up a great thing in the chat, and I didn't know if you really wanted to elaborate on it, but with the Justin Roiland news, and then you got recently, like I said earlier, I am now a bad human because I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy, and everybody's hate about like J.K. Rowling because she's very much a anti-transgendered person, basically, is the nicest way to put it. About separating creators from their content, and I want to give you a chance if you wanted to talk about it. Let's hear your thoughts.
It's something, that's really hard to like know how to deal with. Is like there's so many people that make just like cool shit,
Right.
or they've like made something cool, and whenever something gets made within that, like J.K. Rowling, everything Harry Potter is like money in her pocket,
Yeah.
And it sucks because she's fucking awful.
Right.
But also this Harry Potter shit is really cool, and like I like it. It's always so hard to like come to terms with that. Like,
Right.
I don't want to support this person, but I do want to support this dope game and the people who made it.
Right.
So it's kind of like a similar thing. Like, I like Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
The dude who made it is a piece of shit.
Yep.
But I still want to like Rick and Morty.
Right.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Technically, still yes, allegedly. So.
I had to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably is a piece of shit, but allegedly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this is something that we've definitely seen a few times. Like Bill Cosby is another example of this.
Right.
Done a lot of great things, done a lot of awful things too.
Right.
And just that question of like, is it okay to still like the stuff that these people make?
So.
And I would say yeah.
Yeah. And in my opinion, and this is how I kind of treat all things like this or whatever. You like what you like, right? Like, you can't help who created it. I'm sure I've heard some crazy shit about Benjamin Franklin. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use electricity. You know what I mean? Like, it's a basic function, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, when it comes to creatives and stuff like that or whatever, I just don't like. I'm just gonna play stuff. I'm gonna play stuff. I'm gonna read stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just I guess I don't put that much thought into that into like letting that person or creator like control my decisions, right? Just because they have a different point of view, as much as I may dislike it or as much as I may like it, depending on who the person is, right? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand how you can let that control that kind of stuff all the time. It's weird to me. I also, there was some lady who got fired for having comments about Hogwarts Legacy that weren't the mob mentality or whatever. She was a journalist. I was reading about it earlier. I forget what website she got fired from, but she was a writer there. And yeah, so I'm just not a huge fan of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? She wasn't like, oh, transgender people are awful. She was just like, oh, I'm excited to play this game, is basically what it was. And then she got canceled. So, yeah. I just don't, and I think that's not a cool thing that happens on the internet a lot, or whatever, just because differing opinions and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Tim's over there, been waiting to laugh at me or something for this whole time.
No.
So, I don't know.
You know, it's the Ben Franklin thing.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird
He didn't
correlation.
invent electricity. You realize this,
No,
correct?
no.
He's not the reason that I can do this.
No, he's not.
That's not why.
It's the wrong
He was a
person.
contributing factor.
Yeah, he was, but it's the wrong person.
He, you know what? If you think that, just go fly a kite.
Nice.
It might help with my heart a little bit, honestly.
I'm on point tonight, boys.
You are.
That's good. No, I don't disagree with anything you said other than the Ben Franklin thing. That's it. That's all I had the whole time.
Hey, man, I just sometimes when I be thinking about this stuff, I think a little bit too hard, and I get a little
You're fine.
in the wrong mindset. So
You're fine, man. You're fine. It's just it was funny. Come on.
I mean, it was funny.
I will say I agree 100% with everything you said. Within reason.
Yeah, within reason with stuff. Yeah.
And there are lines you can cross, and to a lot of people, J.K. Rowling has crossed that line. Now, what I will say though is she's not getting any. I don't think she gets any money from Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, she will. Yeah, she will. It's her IP.
Maybe, but
imagine.
Harry Potter's her IP.
it is. It is, but also she sold the rights to WB to get the movies made. So she probably gets something.
She gets
but I don't
royalties,
think
at
it's
least.
nearly as much as people think it
but
is.
She'll at least get royalties.
Yeah, I don't
and-
think it's
and-
about like how much she gets. It's just like that idea that she's benefiting from it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And everybody can have their own opinion on that. That's totally fine. There is a line, and to many people, she has crossed it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
There are people that she hasn't quite met that threshold with, and that fair enough. I respect your opinion either way. It's I don't know.
Did you see that you can there's a lot the character customization in Hogwarts Legacy is fucking. You want to talk about character customization?
Really good.
Yeah, you wanna change your voice and all that kind of stuff, and you can choose the tenor and a bunch of other stuff like.
Excuse me, I can't make Shrek. This is not character customization. All right.
You might be able to make Shrek. I'm not like from the way
There's
they
no
just.
sliders. There's no sliders.
I think
It all
there's-
comes
Can't-
back to the
can't change
onion.
skin color. There was pre-made faces. There were a lot of hair options, and you could do a lot with the hair options within that. But you couldn't. It's not like.
It's not.
I was making a.
Fallouts.
I was making a Dark Souls joke because in Dark Souls everybody likes to make Shrek. I don't know how many times I've killed Shrek in PvP, but it's
It's a lot.
there are layers. Okay, there are layers to this conversation.
Well, I think that's a good way to get to our closing thoughts. Well, Justin, I see you already have one written in here. So what you got for me, bud?
Yeah. So I actually just want to say for my closing thought, GoldenEye 007 is releasing on Nintendo Switch Online this Friday with online multiplayer. Also on Xbox in some capacity. I don't know what, but I'm excited to play it and just fucking tear shit up. And hopefully there's like leaderboards or something. I can't wait.
I know everybody I see, everybody that has been talking about this GoldenEye thing is like, I'm the best GoldenEye player ever. I'm the best one
correct.
ever. I'm him or I'm her, whatever. Hey, you know what I mean? I see that from literally everybody. I can tell you
It's going to be a war zone.
I am not the best GoldenEye player ever. I really enjoyed it, but
I'm excited to play GoldenEye with something that's not an N64 controller because I tried that at Shane's house a few years ago, and admittedly, we may have been high, but it didn't go very well, and I couldn't remember how to hold the controller, and it was very uncomfortable, and I was like, where did my hands go? I don't know what's happening. Why is this here?
I feel the opposite way. I want to buy that Nintendo Switch N64 controller to play it.
I'm going to play it with this.
the Mando controller.
Or maybe this. I knew you'd like that one.
Mando controller.
That is Boba
Boba
Fett,
Fett,
sir. You
whatever.
son of a... How am I friends with you? How is this?
Look, man, I'm sorry I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd. I've tried. I've tried so many times, and
I'm excited for the people that are excited for GoldenEye. I have fond memories of GoldenEye. I don't know that I'm gonna even like play it. I might, maybe.
I will
Probably not.
want to watch people.
If you can
play.
make a party and like
play it on
assemble a
Steam Deck?
party and play online,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm calling
I-
you
Can I-
in.
Yeah.
Can I play it on my Steam Deck?
No.
No. Oh well, then fuck that.
Well, maybe. You can't play it on your Steam
I
Deck.
could probably do it
there might
through.
be a
You can
way.
play it
through
on. You can play it on your Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably stream it through Xbox, but we'll see.
So, Tim, any other closing thoughts?
No, my closing thought was I was going to show off my Star Wars controllers, and I have accomplished that.
that.
Other than that, play more games.
Oh man.
How about you, Cody?
I was gonna say, I wanted to shout out.
You've already been on camera. Your hiding isn't working. That doesn't work.
She was
Cameras
walking.
work.
She was walking in the background. That was funny.
Tried to hide to grab her laptop. She's
It's
like,
okay. Hi. I wanted to shout out a game called Moonstone Island. I played the demo recently, and it is it's Stardew Valley mixed with Pokemon. I saw the gameplay for it or whatever. The demo only lasts a week in game, but It's like it's Stardew Valley with Pokemon because you can collect spirits or whatever, or something like that. I forget what the term they use for it. But then also it's a deck builder. So when you're in battle, you use cards and stuff or whatever. This game looks it's gorgeous for one, right? Looks awesome, right? In that like Stardew Valley type way, you know what I mean? Looks fantastic. The mons look cool. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think this will only be made by 1 or 2 people as well, so I'm just want to shout them out. You're making a fantastic game. You'll probably never see this, but this game I'm excited for. I will be buying it as soon as it comes out. So
sounds right up your alley.
Chill game. That's all I want. Chill game. Chill game, friends. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this week. So, we'll be back next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central, per usual, or right around
Just
that
like
time.
our schedule says.
Yeah.
Now.
And next Wednesday, because tomorrow is the Starfield event.
Yeah.
So next Wednesday, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
We will.
There
Oh,
will
I have
be
one
a
other
list.
closing thought. I've been in the Air Force 12 years today. 12 years.
It's a long time.
That's all. My career is almost
Is
a
it
teenager.
picking up by clapping?
It is. It did a little bit. for
When
a
I was
second.
talking, it picked it up.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's not even like the entire clap. Oh my god. Yeah.
Nothing. I tried there at the end hard.
Yeah.
Crisp does work.
It does do work. But yeah, my career is almost a teenager. 8 more years to go. So close yet so far. Anyways, next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Central, Tim will monologue about Starfield for literally an hour, and me and Justin will
Yes.
sit here and stare at him.
That's gonna be an
Debating whether I'm
easy
gonna
dog.
try and buy,
Yeah.
buy a shirt first or not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a release date, and maybe I won't be so negative about it anymore. I'm really excited to see what they show tomorrow. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, so we'll have that.
I doubt it.
too.
I wonder if Starfield existing is why I'm not hype about Redfall. Because it's just like, I know that I'm not going to play it for years because Starfield's coming, and that's what I'm going to play for the rest
Oh
of my
my
fucking life,
God.
probably.
Holy shit.
That's sad. I just realized that.
Tim,
You
Tim.
can just play No Man's Sky. And we're gonna leave it at that, everybody. See you next week. Love you. Bye.
How dare you, sir?